back to my channel. I hope that y'all are having a good day. I just wanted to come on here and just pretty much just vent. Um, a lot of times I want to do these like kind of videos where I just want to be transparent and not just show you the agendas that I have or the bullet points on what's going on with the court or whatnot, the events that have been going on in my life, but just come on here and just be transparent about the stuff that really I don't discuss as much as I probably want to. Not probably, I do want to. This is why, I've established this platform is to come on here and hopefully one day be able to build community with just that one person that's going to need me or that needs me now and needs to hear that the things that they're going through and the processes of the grieving and dealing with life after loss, that it's not unheard of when you're not alone. So this speaks to anybody. If you don't know my story, I am a widow. I'm 35 years old now. I've been a widow now for 2.5 years, and I'm raising grieving children. I have a 4-year-old that's almost going to be 5, an 8-year-old, a 16 and 17-year-old stepdaughters, which they're my babies, they're my daughters, and a stepson who is 21 years old, and he's just as well. He's still my kid. So particularly right now, what I wanted to share is the regressing of the grieving process, right? There's these stages of grief that y'all may have heard before, and it comes with like denial and anger and just the sorrow and just the overwhelmingness that you're feeling like it's never going to go away. And we've had to live our lives now for 2.5 years without this amazing man, this father, this hands-on friend, mentor, our therapist. Like me, I'll put aside, that'll be a different video. Right now, it's my children. As a mom raising grieving children here close by in my household as well as far away, it is so difficult every day to have to deal with knowing their pain and knowing the fact that there is nothing that I can do as a parent to help the process, to speed up the process, to heal the pain a little bit faster. As a parent, you want to shield your kids from the bullying and low self-esteem. You want to build them up and remind them that they're brilliant. And sometimes your hands are tied. It has nothing to do with the favor that they have or the issues that they might be having at school or with neighborhood kids or anything like that, teachers. It's just the inside of them, what they're really coping with and what they're really dealing with, and having to have them be able to express themselves, because a lot of times these kids, they soldier up. That's what mine are doing. They soldier up and they're just like, I'm okay. I'd rather not. It's not that we can't talk about it, because Milton is a daily vocabulary in our household, in our conversations. We quote him. We make food that was his favorite. We do things that he likes to do to honor him, to celebrate his life. And sometimes we're just sad and we just watch a movie and we cry, and it's things that will channel how he made us feel or the love that he had for us. And even though it's in a grieving process, even though it's in crying and tears and just feeling that sadness, like, we just know that we have to push forward. I always instill that into my kids. Like, we can cry today. We can have one of those days where it's just a rainy day. It could be bright and clear outside, but inside our heart, it's a rainy day. But then, like my friend says, pick up your face and keep pushing. Exactly. That's exactly what I tell them. Shake it off. We're going to be okay. Daddy wouldn't want us to be sad. Jesus didn't put us in this situation so that we can live in the sad moment. It's so that we can pick ourselves up, lift each other up, and show other people what it looks like to live in faith, to live by faith, even in the darkest storms of our life. And 2.5 years later, y'all, it still feels like a dark storm. Like, it's like the clouds hovering and the sun pops in every once in a while, but there's 3 of us. And we all grieve on different wavelengths. Sometimes Dominic can't sleep. He'll ask me, Mama, when I grow up, Mama, are you going to be here still? And I'm like, yes, baby, why wouldn't I be here? I don't want you to pass away like my daddy did. That is so, like, heartbreaking. Like, you just want to hold him so much. You just want to hold his little heart and just heal it. And there's nothing that you can do. Just to recap and reiterate the faith that we live by, the power of faith, the healing and the love of God. Just let him know that it's okay. And today, the reason that I decided to share this with you all is because Sabrina has really been dealing a lot with panic attacks and anxiety. And I don't believe in taking her to the doctor or having medication prescribed to her because she has anxiety or because she can't sleep and has night terrors. But the real deal is that through counseling over the years, I just felt that she was better. I thought she was progressing. And then all of a sudden, just about a month and a half ago, school started back up and there was anxiety with school. For the most part, y'all know I work from home. And I've been so blessed that I've been able to work from home. So they spend time with me when they're not at school. And now having to go back to school, there was that separation anxiety. And then there was just the nerves, and she knew that I was going through the court process and we were awaiting it, and we've also moved, and we were dealing with all this and the declining health of one of my uncles who she loved dearly and he loved her. And it's just so difficult to have had that conversation and be like, babies, Uncle Robert's not doing well and we're probably going to have to attending his funeral. Like, that is awful. Like, as a parent, it's one thing for your father, for the love of your life, to be yanked out of your life from 1 hour to the next. It's another thing for you to have to tell your child, this is going to happen. And I've had to tell them twice. This is going to happen. Grandpa Mayo is not doing well. The cancer has taken over. It's spreading through his body. He's going to start to shut down and be a little bit quieter and not be as loud and as, loving and, but he still loves you. And we're going to have to let him go on this earth until we see him in the next life. Same thing we had to go through with Uncle Robert. As family oriented as I am, I just can't be like, okay, we're not going to deal with this one, okay? We're just going to clock out. And everybody tells me, like, you have the ability to walk away and to not expose your children to this. I'm like, I have the ability to walk away, yes, and people will understand and people will pardon me and pardon my children from not being there, but that's not who I am. I love my family, like family over everything. And just as much as Milton was my family, my uncles, my great, Sabrina's great uncles, like my grandfather figure, like those are people in my life. They're substantial figures in my life. It's not just, I just don't take it lightly. This isn't just like my grandmother's cousin's brother. Like, this is my uncle. This is memories, my cousins, my family's going through this. And if God has put us in this situation and shown us how to live beyond the loss, then we need to be pillars in that situation. We need to hold others' hands, and we need to let them know that they can get through it, that things are going to be better. And we're a walking testimony of that. We try to instill that in all of our conversations, in all of our relationships. And my daughter just can't come to sharing that with anyone, not in her level, not in her capacity, not in her friends. She doesn't want anybody to know that daddy has passed away. As to where Dominic's really just like, what do your parents do for a living? Pre-K talk. Oh, mommy works for DirecTV and daddy's in heaven. And it's just easy for him to talk about. And Sabrina is kind of like standstill, quiet, doesn't want to talk about it, doesn't want to give it too much attention, doesn't want anybody to ask questions. And it hurts me so much because it's escalated to the point where we've had to change schools for her. I've had to put her in a different school because she couldn't overcome the embarrassment that she had to deal with, because she was crying one day and it led to another and maybe another. And then the teacher was like, stop crying, get it together. You're crying again? Ugh, again, you're going to start again. Little things like that, y'all. They're children. You don't really understand sometimes what they're going through. Maybe the teacher just thought she was being chiflada because she didn't want to go to school. Chiflada means like spoiled. Maybe the teacher just thought she was being spoiled. She was being just, having a little tantrum because she didn't want to come back to school because it had just been the start of the new semester. But in reality, we've moved. She knows I'm going through the court system. She gets anxiety like for me. We're dealing with, terminally ill family member, and having to say our goodbyes and not knowing if the last time was the last time and all of that, like, and then just saying something like, it could be insensitive, and I've forgiven her. She didn't mean it. I approached her, I've confronted her. We talked to the counselors, we talked to the principal, who's also family. Like, I have that army of support at school too, and that's why I continue to take them to that school. But in this case, it was just Sabrina. It was too much. It was overbearing. And so I said, you know what, baby girl? No one when I was your age would have allowed me to do what I'm going to give you the opportunity to, but I am going to allow you to move schools if you want to and start a clean slate and be able to live past this embarrassment, live past the sorrow. No one knows that daddy's gone. No one knows who you are. Let's just start a clean slate. And so we did. And so it's been about a month now. Actually, it's been 4 weeks that she has started at a different elementary. So now I'm shuffling 2 kids to 2 different schools by 8 a.m. Y'all, I am not a morning person. My children are not morning people. Like, we are not morning people, but we do it. And it's a sacrifice that I'm doing on my part so that I can, contribute to the healing of my child, so I can contribute to the healing process and to the progress that we need to have. So, I just ask that you lift my family in prayers, my children, my grieving children, not just my littles, but also my big girls and my William. We don't see each other all the time, but I'm their bonus mom. God has blessed me to be able to parent them, even with Milton's absence, even with him not being in this world anymore with us. Like, I married into those children. I sowed seeds of love into them, and I continue to sow seeds of love and support, and especially prayer. And I just ask that you stand in agreement with me and that you just keep that in prayer, and that if you know any children that are going through something, y'all, just don't overlook it. I tell my kids all the time, y'all are little, but you have an opinion, you have ideas, you have suggestions, and I let you express them. I don't get upset because they get emotional. I only get upset when they're disobedient, and right now I'm really dealing with a combination of like emotional and disobedience, because it's like, Sabrina, gotta get to school. And it's like, no, mom, please, no, we're a different school and we still have those days. And at the end of the day, this is part of the life sentence that we have to deal with, beyond the whole judicial system and what the sentencing is going to be for this coward that took my husband's life. Beyond that, whatever time, whatever punishment is just, then it's going to be. But we have to live a life sentence without my husband, without a hands-on father, without that missing piece of the puzzle, the high priest of our family that would lift us up. We have to keep going forward. But just as loss because of death, there's loss, because you don't live in the same home anymore, or loss because of a family, because there's a divorce going on. Just don't underestimate what the children are going through, and just lift them up in prayer and make sure that you communicate with them, because as parents, we just want to shield them from the uglies of this world, the bumps of life that we can avoid, and then there's some that we just can't. So I thank you so much for letting me vent. I appreciate you as always. Just wanted to share my heart, and I just wanted to share what we're going through, 2.5 years later with the grieving process and my children. And I just ask that you stand in agreement with me, that you help me pray for them, that you help me lift them up, that you pray for favor in their lives, and for blessings and for strength, and that when people see them and people know their story, whether it be from the get-go or later on in life, that they see God in all of this and where he stood in all of this. So thank you again so much, y'all. You have a blessed day. Bye.